How's it going, guys? Right now I wanted to talk about The Last of Us Part 2. I do not think that this game will be coming out in 2019 at all. This is 95% certainty on my part. I do think that this game will be coming out in 2020, or I would say early 2020. Why? If you guys have tuned in for the State of Play episode 2, you already would have known that Medieval has been unveiled. And it also got an official release date. It's coming out in October, I believe 25th or something. At the end of October anyway. And so that's one of the big PlayStation games, obviously. But you have to understand there's another one of those bigger games that it is slated for the 2019, or at the end of 2019. It's called Dreams. Currently it's still in the early release right now. And it is playable, it is in its beta form. By initial proper launch will be at the end of 2019. So there simply will be no space or room for The Last of Us Part 2 at all. Let me tell you why another aspect of way or a different way you can actually look at things. Let's talk about Ubisoft games and how they do it. They released The Division 2 at March, right? So obviously they have been slating and they've been waiting to release another big game called Ghost Recon. It's already been slated, it's coming out in the October. So obviously there's a margin of 6 months of differentiation of the difference when those two big games will be happening and releasing. Now I understand there was another game called Far Cry New Dawn. That's not really a fleshed out sequel. It's more or less a continuation from the Far Cry 5 game, even though it is very close to the launch of The Division 2. It does not simply count as a big game though. On top of that, we have to understand that Skull and Bones will be happening in 2019. Well, it's slated for that year of date anyway. That's going to be coming out. And yes, 2019 seems like 3 big games from Ubisoft. This is why I do not think that Watch Dogs 3 even will be coming out this year. I personally think that Watch Dogs 3 will be happening in the early of 2020. Why not late of 2020? Because Assassin's Creed Kingdom, or whatever it's called, is going to be releasing that time. It's because it's been delayed. Well, not really delayed. They did that on purpose regarding that not going to be releasing into 2019. And continuing on, and as well, why I want to mention, and I want to be very realistic about this. I do want to get my hands on with The Last of Us Part 2. Don't get me wrong. I want to get in my hands as quickly as possible, but I wanted to cook and I wanted to be more polished up as much as possibly can, and just to make sure that there will be no problems at its launch. I personally wanted to come out. This is why I personally wanted to come out at the early of 2020. Now, if we do think about 2020 release date for the PlayStation exclusive game The Last of Us Part 2, it may come out just like the God of War did, April, perhaps. Maybe it could have come out in March. Maybe I would be more optimistic and I would say even February. That would be pretty awesome, to be personally honest. By that time, I'm sure and I'm certain that we will know much more information regarding the next gen consoles. And I would not have any doubts that this game will get it some kind of a remaster as well whenever this PlayStation 5 does come out. So you will be able to have a bit of a cross-gen console, play, so to say, if that makes any sense. So personally, this is why I think that The Last of Us Part 2 is simply not going to be coming out in the 2019 at all. If you do not like what I had to say in this commentary, you don't like of the proof that I have provided here, even though they're not exactly definitive proof, this is still more of an opinionated commentary. I don't know what to say to you. Okay, it's just an opinion. I could be wrong, and maybe it's a good thing if I could be wrong. If Naughty Dog thinks that this game is finally finished and it's good to be shipped out now, let's say at the end of the 2019 and releasing in the 2019, okay, that's fine. That's perfectly acceptable, but as well, I cannot simply wait to get my hands on that time as well. But, I want to be realistic. I want to make sure that this game can be as the best as possibly can be. After even watching the documentary from the God of War and how long it was in the development, I just don't want to see any of those, setbacks, delay. Well, delays, yes, I'm okay with delays, but I don't want to see any of those setbacks or rushing things. So this is why I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. I understand this is not really an ideal choice of an option, but I'm more or less confident that this game is not coming out in 2019 at all. In fact, any of the big games not coming out in 2019. But we could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But as well, if you guys did not know, I personally think that The Last of Us Part 2 will be happening in 2020, at the early 2020, late 2020. 2020. Yeah, I said that right. Wow. Late 2020 will be, I think, Ghost of Tsushima. And the 2021 will be Death Stranding. I think that's when it's slated for its launch and its releases. I also think that at the E3 2020, as you already know, E3 2019 for the PlayStation, there will be none, but they will be making an appearance and return in 2020. And I think, personally, that they will be unveiling some kind of brand new giant exclusive for the PlayStation, at least one of the most big exclusive games. I seriously think that, for real. Yeah. But we should not, completely ignore the E3 this year for the PlayStation. It is going to be a big year for the PlayStation as well, 2019, for real. At the E3. Why? Let me tell you. If you guys did not know, The Last of Us Part 2 is more or less ready to show off their another trailer. I'm certain of it. Death Stranding is inevitable, because Hideo Kojima has been teasing a bunch of times that he's in the progression and he's making and he's editing, he's doing his thing of putting in the trailer together, and that he's getting ready to show it off as well. And we personally do not know how he's going to do that. I think that they're going to do it at the State of Play Episode 3. In fact, I think that State of Play Episode 3 will be one of the biggest and the best hyped up things ever. Maybe it's going to be a substitute of the E3 for the PlayStation. Even though it's not an ideal thing, because State of Play has been such a disappointment for so many people. Episode 1 was a big disappointment. Episode 2 was alright, so to say, But still, if that's the case, if that's how they choose to go with, okay, that's fine, I understand as well. I personally, I don't know, maybe, I think that it needs a bigger reveal. I think it needs some kind of press conference or something. And even though Sony decided to pull away from the E3 2019, maybe they'll think of a way how to show this, trailer off or gameplay, whatever it is. Or perhaps maybe Hideo Kojima and so many other guys on the PlayStation, whoever wants to show off their gameplays and who are ready, maybe they just simply want to put it out on the social media and simply on the PlayStation channel, and they showed off the trailer just like that. I don't know. It's just a projected thought, so to say. Either way, it will be pretty awesome, because we already know that the Death Stranding trailer is ready up and will be going. We just don't know how we're going to see it though. But still, it's going to be exciting. Alright, well, I think I'm done rambling for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. See you guys later. Have an awesome day. And yeah, as always, have a good one.
You cashed in on